Now, as we've been seeing there, the temperatures in the Highlands have been wonderful today, but it is an area, as you well know, that experiences some extreme weather conditions. And Laura, one man in particular knows exactly how extreme they can be.
Yes, John. Lee Schofield is a father of two, but he's been building some weather stations in his free time. Now, it began as a hobby, building one station in his backyard. He now has 40 weather stations across the Highlands and Islands, and with that data, he's been delivering daily local free weather forecasts for his neighbours. So I popped along up to Carr Bridge to meet him and hear his story. Here he is. In the Highlands, where the weather can turn as quickly as a heartbeat, one man is doing his best to watch which way the wind is blowing. Lee Schofield has been fascinated with the weather since he was a boy. When he moved to Scotland a few years ago, the father of two, with help from his young daughter Alison, started to build weather stations across the Highlands.
Yeah, I was one looking at the clouds, telling everybody at school what's going to happen with the weather, and then it moved on from there. And yeah, I've always been that person, the weather geek.
Lee set up his own weather page a few years ago, delivering detailed local forecasts. He now has around 100,000 followers.
I get up in the morning about 6. First thing I do when I get up is I check all the weather stations, because I've got a network of 30 odd weather stations which are feeding information back to me. I can see that on my phone, I can see it on the maps. So it's constantly growing, really.
Lee established his first weather station at his home in Carr Bridge back in February 2014. From there, he started spreading more observation points locally. Today, it has now grown to more than 40 weather stations across Scotland. Some are as far as the Isle of Egg. At least 10 have been set up by other keen weather fans, happy to help Lee gather in his data from as far as Shetland, Orkney, Skye and the Western Isles. Lee is entirely self-taught and already holds down a full-time job. His free daily updates are entirely for his local community.
We've got sort of certain microclimates because of the surrounding mountains and things, so I think localised information is obviously a great advantage.
It's great. I know Lee, and his page is brilliant. It lets us all know about what's happening in the Highlands, the whole of the Highlands, of the weather.
It's good, yeah, because he's got weather stations all over the Highlands now, so I think he's getting bigger.
The Highlands of Scotland can experience some pretty extreme weather. For Lee, it's the perfect place. But is his hobby as attractive to the next young generation of weather watchers? So what do you want to be when you grow up then?
Well, maybe a weather person like Daddy, or maybe a vet.
Lucky for Dad Lee, he has another junior weatherman in training, just in case. Laura Piper, STV News, Carr Bridge.
And that's all from us tonight. Thanks for coming in from the sunshine to watch. There's no